can see all your usual dim sum favorites right here. Feels like one of those like colonial style old buildings. This pork knuckle is super tender because it's an old colonial style building. So this is one of the most important painting inside this museum. And that's the old post office of Saigon. You can never have enough Chinese herbal tea when you're Cantonese. So we're having a dim sum breakfast at a very well-known chain, Dim Do Duck, here in Saigon. You can see all your usual dim sum favorites right here. Hot cow, the siu mai, the chicken feet. There's a plain seafood fried rice. This chain is very well known all over Asia. It comes from Hong Kong. It specializes in the Cantonese dim sum. And this one is one of their locations in Saigon, right across from the Sheraton Hotel. Very busy. It's considered to be upscale food here. The quality of food is very good. I'm glad that my friend took me here. Very nice place of dim sum in Saigon. So I've just stumbled into this kind of a very old looking building. And it's really cool in here. It's a cool little coffee shop on the third floor with some art and photography inside. A little bit of a graffiti mural on the outside. It's a very cool looking building too. Just feels very historical here. Feels like one of those like colonial style old buildings. You get the lookout to more of this is we're still in District 1, Saigon. The restaurant on the second floor is even more interesting. Stairs. This restaurant is really cool. This staircase just even this staircase just full of story. There's a real vibe here of history, of just, you know, there's some kind of story, history here. There's the alleyway that I walk through, and it has a little bit of a art gallery at the front. And you walk up the staircase to get up this building. It's one of the more interesting finds I've stumbled upon here in Saigon. Just got my money exchanged in this place. Here's a pro tip about exchanging money in Vietnam or any other countries. You want to go into a place that's a decent size. This one has a lot of people working in there, like 3 or 4 different people working there, and tons of people coming in and out. When a place is bigger, they will hold more currency. The more currency they hold, the better exchange rate you're gonna get. So you want to go into a place that is busy, that has a lot of people working there, looks like it's a decent sized outfit. They will usually give you the best rate. And I'm walking through another alley right now next to the main boulevard in District 1, nearby the Opera House.
He looks like he does.
So the way that malls and shopping is organized in China is that you have a nice mall in a certain area, like this one right here, like Saigon Center. And then if you're looking for something a little bit more that's downbeat, a little cheaper, more budget, there is a separate section that's next to the mall where they would sell basically cheaper goods, cheaper version of the same goods, like clothing, shoes, bags, whatever. It's the same thing here in Saigon Center. Inside there you have all the big brands, Uniqlo, Gucci, Chanel. And then all you need to do is step across the street. This is Saigon Square, and this is where you have more kind of like a hawker style of shopping. It's a hawker style shopping mall inside where you find a lot of more budget type of stores with cheaper prices, selling everything from jewelry, clothes, bags, and of course a lot of these are going to be like knockoff brands, okay, which is why they're a lot cheaper. I'm not going to go inside now. It gets a little chaotic in there, and also they may not like me recording inside, but you can go in and feel free to check it out. There's lots of other things around here you can do, get your money exchanged. There's a lot more shopping in here. I think this actually might be part of Bantan. Yeah, hundreds and hundreds of stores in there selling all kinds of merchandise. Another night in Saigon, and another bowl of really good noodles. This one is a Bui Vien Bar, I believe it's called. It's beef noodles. This one comes with beef flank. Actually, that's kind of like beef tendon and flank meats. There's pork knuckles in here. This pork knuckle is super tender because when it just came, right, I was doing this to the soup, and I can see, I was tapping the bowl, and when you can see the beef knuckle, the pork knuckle doing a shaking movement, which means all the gelatin, all the tendon in it has been cooked super tender. You can tell it's a very tender piece of pork knuckle. You don't want to let it soak in the soup for too long, because then it will overcook itself in the hot soup. But this noodle dish also uses the round-shaped noodle, which is very popular in the Guangxi province of China, which is actually right across the border from Vietnam. I just tasted the broth. Very rich broth with both beef and pretty strong fish sauce flavor. First time I tasted a broth with very strong fish flavor, sauce flavor in it, but it's a very rich broth. And there's a soup on the side. I ordered an egg. This egg too is a poached, and actually it's a soft boiled egg. You can tell. And some basil and bean sprouts for condiments. Yeah, this is very well-made bowl of noodles. Well, hello there. It's a pretty warm and slightly humid Tuesday afternoon here in Saigon, and I've just finished lunch at the place behind me. A plate of pork chop rice, the cold tam, which is broken rice with pork chop and an egg. Simple lunch. This alley, or this street right here, is actually right behind the big condo tower where I'm staying, which is like right there. Those really tall, modern style condo towers. And there's some nice food and coffee shops in the street next to it, but this is actually the street behind it, or the next street over. This is a lot more local. Anyways, I just had a nice plate of pork chop rice, and you can find everything around here. Everything from stalls selling papaya salad, like the stalls behind me, fresh fruits, coffee. It was lunchtime, and between 12 and 1, and I was sitting inside this restaurant having my rice, and every single one of these places was like packed. But funny thing was, like within half an hour, everyone had finished and gone. I'm back to work. Yeah. So, anyways, this is where the locals hang out, and every type of food, drinks you can think of. There's even a lady behind me there. He's doing some sewing work, so you can get your clothes tailored and get some sewing done while you're at work. She's selling some kind of this lady's behind me selling some kind of a dessert drink, probably like a coconut dessert. This is a much nicer coffee shop behind me. Get a cup of coffee, take a coffee break right after work. Big office building. Oh, we have bank. Everyone's working. Yeah, fresh fruits. This place specializes in the hu tiu, which is the Hakka style egg noodle. Fresh coconuts. Maybe I'll get one. Sounds pretty good right now. I love local places like this where you kind of like just grab a plastic stool and a table, get your coffee, your rice plate, fresh fruit smoothie, whatever you like. And it wouldn't cost you more than $1.50 or a couple bucks, you know, for a full meal. So I just got me some milk tea from this shop behind me, right here. That's the salty milk tea I just got. It comes with a little bit of boba. I asked for less ice, less boba. And it looks different, looks pretty good, so I wanted to try it. Oh, it is pretty good. It's not completely salty like it says on the sign. The lady that works in here, she's super nice too. Speaks pretty good English. Explained to me what the tea is, and took my order just the way I liked it. Always like my milk tea with less ice, less sugar. This place specializes in fruit juices. Those fruits right there look like avocados to me, but it's passion fruit. It's a very popular fruit here in Vietnam. The passion fruit is kind of got a sweet and sour inside. Most of the flavor comes from the seeds inside the passion fruit. And there's tons of people lined up here getting their fruit drinks. You don't like passion fruit, there's coconuts, there's sugar cane. All those are the leftover from the sugar cane that squeezed the juice out of. Yeah. Milk tea is pretty good though. All right, let's go get going. I'm inside the Ho Chi Minh City Museum of Fine Arts. It's an old colonial style building. Not a very huge property, just 2 stories. I would say more contemporary art. You get a kind of interesting view of the surrounding neighborhood around here. There's another huge development construction project going on next door. Some very interesting artwork inside as well. A lot of oil paintings. I think some of the even more interesting things that I'm seeing here aren't actually the artwork themselves, but the people that are here, and also the spaces. How the spaces create a specific type of lighting to create a certain vibe. I think a lot of these windows and doors that brings light in and has contrast between light and shadow themselves are very artistic. See, even this window right here to me is very artistic. And the way that the light contrast is created. And the yellow paint they use outside is also have a nice color. So there aren't a lot of explanations in English about the artwork that's here, but out of everything that I've seen today, this one panel of English explanation perhaps is the most significant way to explain a lot of the artwork here. And I'll just focus on a couple of the paintings here while I read off what it says. It says, in the harsh reality of the war, the resistance sketches have formed, developed and played a key role in Southern fine arts. Sketches of the Southern resistance war contain the simple and great contents without carrying the destructiveness and the antagonism in the war. Perhaps this is the significant difference of the Vietnamese resistance sketches in comparison with other kind of resistance sketches in the world. Yeah, I think that very elegantly captures how artwork about the resistance wars in Vietnam is portrayed. The focus is on the strength and humanity of the Vietnamese people through all the wars they have fought rather than the enemies. Like this very good sketch over here. It's a nurse, a male nurse, tying a bandage on the head of a wounded soldier. I think males are usually portrayed to be very strong characters in war paintings and sketches, but in this one you see there's the theme here is not really about fighting. It's actually about taking care of each other. It's a moment of humanity and of compassion, and actually some tenderness that is being shared between the two men in this sketch. I like this one too. It's a girl that's hiding in the basement, probably sheltering herself from fighting a war above ground. But look at what she's doing. She's reading a book with a candle. So even in times of war, in times of trauma, she's getting education, building up her inner knowledge, wisdom. That's a very positive message. So this is one of the most important paintings inside this museum, and it depicts a group of students in Saigon, I believe, holding a protest against what looked to be soldiers. Now, judging by just looking at this painting alone, you wouldn't know who they're protesting against. You only read about it in the description that those soldiers in the painting are actually American soldiers. And because this takes place in, it's depicting something in the 60s and 70s, you know that it has something to do with the resistance against the American invasion. But isn't it interesting that just looking at the painting itself, it does not actually tell you who the soldiers are and what the students are protesting about or who they're protesting against. And I've seen this now through many of the other artworks and paintings here. The theme of resistance is very prevalent throughout a lot of the artwork. Resistance, war, and fighting. But what you don't see though is they don't name who the enemy is. Rather, the focus is on the Vietnamese people themselves. So if you look at this painting, the soldiers have no faces. They're faceless. They're facing the students. You see the faces of students. So in a way, those American soldiers, which are not even apparently American in this painting, they're faceless. They're not given faces. And when you don't give faces to your enemy, then you're also not giving them a voice, right? So the focus is on yourself rather than the enemy. And I think this is a very important theme that I see repeated through a lot of artworks here, which is very interesting to me because a lot of the countries that went through war, like World War II, they would their artwork has a lot to do with who the enemy is. Like in China, they specifically call out Japan as their enemy. And but when you give face to your enemy, when you also give them a voice, and whereas the Vietnamese people, it seems like they very intentionally just wanted to make the focus about themselves. Yeah, that's fascinating. So a lot of interesting artwork in here, but there's not a lot of translation and explanation in English, save in a few places. But I also think the English, where they do give English explanations, I think oftentimes it's also intentionally from the artwork. They're about resistance towards colonialists like the French and the Americans, so that we can understand, we from the Western countries can understand what these artworks are about. I just finished my visit here at the Ho Chi Minh City Museum of Fine Arts. It's not a huge collection. They've got two buildings, one over here and one on the other side. 3 floors, and very interesting collection of arts, sculpture, and paintings. A lot of oil paintings, and most of it is done in the late 20th century. I spent a little less than 2 hours here, but you can actually probably finish in about an hour and a half. And not a big collection, but well worth the time investment. And it's only 30,000 Vietnamese dong to get in, which is like $1.25, you know. And other than the paintings, there's a lot of you can do a lot of interesting people watching here. A lot of young people dressed in traditional Vietnamese outfits, and they'll do photo shoots, various kind of like media content here. It's pretty cool to check out. So yeah, not a bad way to spend an hour and a half, couple hours out here. So I'm at another very famous tourist site here in Saigon, which is the Notre Dame Cathedral that's behind me. Unfortunately, this is now mid-January. It looks like the cathedral is under some major renovation here, and it's not going to be as nice to see. But yeah, this one, there's one that I saw in Hanoi as well, and this one looks a lot more impressive. And but that's okay, because there's another attraction across the street. Just that yellow building over there, and that's the old post office of Saigon, which was built during the 19th century, during the French colonial period. It's still pretty well maintained, and inside there's supposed to be a lot of souvenir shops, places for you to just buy stuff, and apparently you can send a postcard while you're still in there. So I guess there's a post office still in operation. And so let's go check it out. I'm in Chinatown, Saigon, and they got herbal tea right here. It's a popular thing for Cantonese people to have some herbal tea to bring the body heat down. I think I'm gonna do that. This place has got business. Stop by. The kid just got himself a cup of tea while he's on the bike, gets right back on, he's gonna shoot off. I'm gonna do the same. Just got myself some Chinese herbal tea in there, more Chinese herbal tea, even though I already got some. But never wrong to have more. You can never have enough Chinese herbal tea when you're Cantonese. We're always trying to bring down the heat inside our body. A little hard to make out what exactly is like sort of like the defining landmarks of Chinatown here. But maybe that makes sense because Chinese culture is so well integrated into Vietnam already. So it pretty much just looks like any other parts of Vietnam. There's just a lot of shops selling various different things here. Stalls selling different foods. It looks like these guys are actually also having totem. See, everybody turns around when I speak English. Oh yeah, that's where they make the pork chops. Look at that. Oh my God, that looks so good. Holy crap. This is where I should have had my totem. Look at that pork chop. Very good, very good. Man. Yep, where there's smoke, there's grilled pork chops. Good stuff, good stuff. Another late night smoothie. Yes, many things are open late into the evening in Saigon, including a lot of restaurants where you get to grab a bowl of noodles or some barbecue. Here's I'm getting some smoothie. Always a smoothie spot open pretty late at night. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning now, but I still don't feel like going to sleep yet, so gotta grab a bowl of a smoothie right here, making a mango and mango papaya smoothie, I think. See, there he is delivering right to taxi guy. I think that guy's doing delivery. But it's a good way to kind of like chill. And yeah, always a place to get a drink or some food. Pretty much for most of the time in Saigon. There's my papaya mango smoothie. Pretty good looking smoothie.
Bây giờ cho tới to cho dễ hiểu ha. Thấy 50% đây là 1,5 triệu. Bây giờ đắp 10% vô. Đắp 10% gì? 50% đó. Thì bây giờ là nước thế là chỉ giảm 100.
So rich, so fruity, and so smooth.
Hiểu không?
Just sat down inside a restaurant here near the Bui Vien Walking Street, which is the nightlife street here in Saigon. And yeah, it's just a rice plate with a barbecue chicken leg and fried egg and some vegetable soup. But this is a good place to do some people watching along the street outside. Yeah, this is right next to the major nightlife street here, so a lot of nightlife action going on here. This is kind of a good place to chill. Just gonna take a walk through the street. It's really not my style. It's way too rowdy, but kind of interested to see what goes on a Wednesday night. I'm sure there'll still be probably a lot of people partying.